Hi, my name is Kevin Kendra, and welcome to the new series, SF Conversations. I'm joined by Susan Hosterman and Ryan O'Loughlin, both from Fitch's RMBS team. Today we're going to have a brief discussion about a couple of hot topics in the RMBS market. So let's get started. Piggyback seconds. CoreLogic recently released a report saying there was an uptick in FHA originations with the use of piggyback seconds. Piggyback seconds historically have been used as a form of down payment assistance. Susan, is this a good thing for the market?
Excess piggyback seconds in U.S. RMBS transactions is not a good thing for the market. They have not performed well historically. In the run-up to the Great Financial Crisis, transactions that had a large amount of piggyback seconds did not perform well at all. They were the first to take losses. There was no equity in the homes. The borrowers had no skin in the game. There was no reason for them to try and even repay their mortgage. They just walked away.
Thank you. And Ryan, what are your views on the use of piggyback seconds, particularly at this point in time?
Sure. So staying on the point of equity, if you think about these borrowers with the first and the second lien, they may only put 5 or 10% down. We currently view the U.S. as roughly 11.5% overvalued on a national basis. So if some of that overvaluation actually starts to unwind and you see a little bit of a pullback in home prices, some of these borrowers could actually be underwater fairly quickly. One other point to note, like you mentioned, while they are seeing a little bit of an uptick from the FHA portfolio, so far we're not really seeing them materialize in any of the RMBS transactions.
Thank you. Second topic, rate cuts. I'm going to play a little game. So everyone's widely expecting rate cuts second half of the year. We're just going to play a game called What's the Word? I'm going to read you a sentence, you fill in the blanks. So rate cuts will spur blank in the RMBS market. We'll start with Ryan.
So rate cuts will spur first-time home buyers and more specifically affordability. If you think back to early to mid 2020, home prices are up pretty substantially and mortgage rates have effectively doubled since the lows that they reached in mid to late 2020. While we're not really expecting home prices to pull back meaningfully in the short term, any declines or reductions in mortgage rates could be a little bit of a reprieve for some of the borrowers who otherwise have been priced out.
Thank you. And so Susan, rate cuts will spur blank in the RMBS market.
Rate cuts will spur refinances in the U.S. RMBS market and in the mortgage market in general. Any borrower that has an interest rate between 7 and 9% is a prime candidate for refinancing their mortgage, and the originators and brokers are ready to roll.
Absolutely. So we'll take that right into what to expect. What are we looking for for the rest of the year? So as we head through the end of September, we've got geopolitical risk, we've got national elections coming up. What are people looking for? What should they expect in the RMBS market? Susan, we'll start with you.
Everyone is expecting rate cuts, and we all know that borrowers are going to go after the lower mortgage rates that are offered. As a result, investors have to be concerned about prepayment risk and look for transactions that are working to mitigate those risks, whether that be structurally or if they have prepayment penalty issues.
And Ryan, what are you looking for the rest of 2024?
So I think one of the main points would be just an uptick in excess interest within the transactions, and more importantly, how it actually impacts the waterfalls. Using the second lien space as an example, since that sector was reintroduced mid last year, excess interest is no longer available to turbo down the bonds, and it's only being used to protect against or repay losses. Separately, on the non-QM side, excess interest has been pretty minimal the past few years, and there was the redirection of subordinate bond interest to the seniors. As excess interest starts to pick back up, it seems likely that some of those features may be removed.
Thank you. Thank you both for your insights. And thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions or would like to continue the discussion, please send us a note at the address on the screen. Thanks for watching.